Are you thinking about moving to Farragut? You've heard that it's one of the cool or nicer or better areas of Knoxville, but you're curious, what exactly is it like and could it be a fit for you? So we're going to jump into the map and check out Farragut. All right, so a couple things first I want to talk with you about. Number one is Farragut. Where is it in location to Knoxville? And also Farragut sits in Knox County. So I don't know if you know this, I used to be a high school math teacher, and unfortunately, even at the high school level, we would be teaching like what's a square and what's a rectangle. And it's kind of like that way with Farragut. All squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. In the same way, Farragut sits in Knox County, but not all of Knox County is Farragut. So if we look right now, this is zoomed in for Farragut, but if I zoom out, I want to show you where it is in relation to downtown. So here's downtown Knoxville, obviously here. And we are as far west essentially as you can go in Knox County. Knox County is huge. Like Coreyton is Knox County, parts of Strawberry Plains are Knox County. Like all of this, I don't know why I'm out of breath talking about this. I apologize. Anyways, Knox County is ginormo. That's the point. This is getting me breathless. Okay, so if we zoom back into Farragut, I also want to show you that technically what you see here, that's like in the gray, that is Farragut proper. So those, for example, you would write 123 Main Street, Farragut, Tennessee, 37934. So all of this is 37934. All of this is Farragut schools. In other words, Farragut Intermediate, Farragut Primary, Farragut Middle, Farragut High School. So that's all Farragut schools. However, parts outside of Farragut are also, in my opinion, as a native Knoxville person, also considered Farragut, even though they're not technically Farragut. Now, I did not go to Farragut. I will say that I am wearing navy for Farragut because the Farragut Admirals, their colors are navy, like white and silver. So shout out to Farragut Admirals. I went to West High School. Okay, our colors were red and navy, but that's not the point of this entire video. I'm just saying that a Farragut person might be mad that I'm including other parts of Farragut, but as a Knoxville native person, to me, this is Farragut. So this right here, like I said, all of this is technically Farragut 37934, but you have this portion, this is Choteau down here, like southwest, and this is Concord and parts of North Shore. Now, North Shore, not so much heavily considered Farragut, but like this here, all this Concord and North Shore right here, all of this, yes, for sure, Farragut. And actually, I mean, I still consider this Farragut. Basically anything that's west of Pellissippi. So that's what this is. This right here is Pellissippi Parkway. So it runs north to south. It runs from essentially Oak Ridge to Alcoa to the airport. And then we have I-75, I-40, which runs east to west. So in my mind, Farragut is from Pellissippi and 40 down, basically. So even though technically like these schools, this is going to be North Shore, maybe Farragut High, West Valley Middle, some sections here, but all of this down here is going to be Farragut. So that's just some context. I also want to point out that, here, this is Hardin Valley. So when I say like essentially everything south, technically you've got a couple things here that are technically Farragut, but in my mind, anything north of 40 is Hardin Valley. And I call it the sister to Farragut. There is no shopping here. There is nothing in Hardin Valley. So if you're in Hardin Valley, where are you coming to do everything? You're coming into Farragut. So also note that on one side, we've got 40, and on the opposite side to the south, we have the river, Fort Loudon Lake, Tennessee River. So all of this is water frontage. So that means you do have neighborhoods in the Farragut area that either have boat docks, like personal, single family, residential, they own their boat dock. You have some neighborhoods that have like a community boat dock. You have some marinas. So that's something that's kind of cool about Farragut. I will say, if you do come across a property that does have its own boat dock and that's like a deal breaker for you, then you probably should just go for it because they are few and far between. They're hard to come by. And even neighborhoods who have some dock spaces, they have like crazy wait lists, like River Sound. It's down North Shore. And it has crazy wait times. So, and it's a pretty like relatively large neighborhood. So anyhow, in Montgomery Cove, kind of similar. So anyways, that is just some notes in general. So what makes Farragut special? So Farragut, for one, is your most, to me, it's like the most highest density of shopping, restaurants, hotels, stuff to do. They also have like 16 miles of greenways. They have several parks. So even just the parks like this McPhee Park, this is Farragut's largest park, I think. And this is actually, they have pickleball. They have all kinds of fun stuff here. Anchor Park is another super popular one, with basketball courts and that kind of stuff. And even in Concord, you have this par 3, you have a par 3 golf course, you have a marina, there's a community pool here. So there's all kinds of different park opportunities. McPhee has like a fishing pond. There's a little beach area, which it's obviously not a beach, and it's like going into the lake, and it grosses me out. So I'm not into that. I'm just saying that there's an option. And also over here, like Concord, there's a yacht club. There's this really great Christmas light. So you got some really good parks. So major destinations and spots in Farragut, number one is Turkey Creek. So Turkey Creek is, in my mind, we have two major shopping places in Knoxville. One is West Town Mall, which is towards downtown Bearden area, and the other one is Turkey Creek. Turkey Creek is significantly newer, did not exist when I was growing up here. I think it probably came in around 2012-ish, roughly. Don't quote me on that. But essentially, Turkey Creek is 2.5 miles of shopping. And when I say shopping, I mean everything. Like there's a Super Walmart, there's a Publix, there's a JCPenney's, there's a CarMax, there's a movie theater, there's boutique restaurants, boutique shops, there's a Belk, a Marshall's. I mean, it's literally like all the things. So it does go from one exit of the interstate to the other. So here's Lovell Road. So Lovell Road, you're like in Farragut at this point, and it goes from Lovell Road. This is this exit to Campbell Station. So it's about 2.5 miles, like I said. And I will say that can be very crazy traffic. And I really firmly believe that whoever the traffic engineer was did not do a good job, because it is a literal disaster. Even, for example, one of the major places that I go in Turkey Creek is this area right here. There's a World Market. Now this Nike is new. That used to be a, I don't even know what it was. It was so irrelevant. I don't even know what it was, but now there's a Nike store. Anyways, and I think there's also supposedly, I haven't seen this, a J. Crew outlet, but I feel like when you put an outlet into a shopping center like this, it significantly reduces, it cheapens it, don't you think? I don't know. What do I know? Anyhow, one of my favorite places to go is this part of Turkey Creek because of the World Market. There's an Ulta. This right here is a Loft on the corner. But you have this like high concentration of boutique stores. There's a Bliss, which is clothing. I can't like get this to zoom in enough, but there's a Bliss, there's Talbot's, there's this Tavi boutique is really good. There's Fabric, there's Claire's, there's another little boutique right here that's like very trendy, but you can find cute little finds, like cute tops or whatever. So I'm saying that because when I talk about traffic here, a part of this is always closed. Like this section right here, you can never drive down this section because the engineering for the traffic was so poor. It is literally a disaster. And so I would not go to Turkey Creek during any time after 4 p.m. Or in the holidays, which that's when a lot of people are going there, and therefore it is crazy. I'll also say that we have several Targets in Knoxville, multiple Targets in West Knoxville. And this Target, they redid the format of it, and it's my least favorite. Every time I go in there, I have no idea like how all of a sudden I'm like looking at a women's shirt, and then I'm looking at like cotton balls and shampoo. I don't understand. I don't ever go in there because I'm like, I don't know what's happening. So that's Turkey Creek. You could literally like spend your whole day here. eat brunch at First Watch, then go and work out. No, maybe you want to work out first. Work out at Orange Theory. Then you go eat brunch at First Watch. And then you go shopping at the At Home store, which if you're like a home goods person, you got to go to At Home because they have, I'm telling you, anything you ever needed for your house, any kind of decoration, all the things. Okay, so then you do that. Then you go get lunch at Chipotle or Calhoun's or the brewery or Buffalo Wild Wings, or Panera or any of these things. And then you go see a movie. And then maybe you want to work out again and you go to the Core Change. I mean, I'm just telling you, you've got options. So Turkey Creek has literally everything. And then you also have to get your groceries for the week. So you go to Publix or the Super Walmart. This is the nicest Walmart in town, in my opinion. So that's Turkey Creek. It is a major hotspot. I also want to point out that I was proved wrong. We did finally get a Topgolf. It is directly across from Turkey Creek. And technically, you see, it's still within this Farragut incorporated area. So Topgolf, there you go. It's on the opposite side of Turkey Creek. You could get to it from Campbell Station or from the Lovell Road exit. So that is Turkey Creek. I also want to point out that we have one Costco in the Knoxville area, and it is also in Farragut. So that is here, Costco. Again, traffic is a major problem. If you're going to get gas, probably plan an hour to do so. Just also with the Costco, you've got like a tropical smoothie, a First Watch, etc. And then something that's cool about Farragut is you do have a mix, like I keep saying, of boutique type restaurants. I call it a boutique restaurant, like a one-off. I don't want to call it a mom and pop because it's not like it's a mom and pop, but it is not a chain. So for example, Honeybee Coffee. Honeybee Coffee is a really cool coffee shop, always super crowded. And actually, we just got also a Summer Moon, which I know is more of a chain, but we just got that. In the meantime, there's also Starbucks. So, and there's also a, the colors are red and white. It's not bulletproof, but there's another like drive-in coffee shop somewhere down here. So you have got options. So just think of like, if those are your coffee options, you've got tons of restaurant options too. For example, there is just across the street from the end of Turkey Creek, there is a restaurant called Water Into Wine. It's the same place as where this Mellow Mushroom is. Water Into Wine is so good. I'm pretty sure that their bartender, one of their bartenders gets like best bartender of the year consistently every year because he's so good. So if that's your kind of thing, you definitely got to go to Water Into Wine. They have charcuterie boards and all kinds of stuff. So I also want to point out that in terms of shopping, like I said, you've got most options here at Turkey Creek. You also have options and boutiques and some chain stores like Kohl's, etc. Like there's the Kohl's along Kingston Pike. So Kingston Pike is another thoroughfare. This is a 4-lane road, and it can get pretty hectic. And it's definitely, if you were going to travel from downtown to Farragut, you're going to take 40. Now, say there's major traffic on 40, you're going to get off the interstate and you're going to take Kingston Pike. This is Kingston Pike all the way down. And say there's even worse traffic, you're going to take Kingston Pike. You're going to take North Shore this way and go around. So anyways, you got options, but Kingston Pike is definitely the major thoroughfare for Farragut. Now let's talk about something that's interesting. I think about Farragut is the schools. So the schools, like I said, I'm going to change this view so we can kind of see, but the schools are towards the east part of Farragut. So here's the Costco, this is Lovell Road, and this is Kingston Pike coming down. So here, literally right in the middle of everything, like all this is, these are all houses. This is all Turkey Creek. The schools are literally right in the middle of all the craziness. And I just think that's interesting because that to me is kind of characteristic of Farragut. Like that's the place where all the things are going on. And even the schools are right in the middle, right in the heart of it. And then like the primary school is over here off Campbell Station, but everything else is all right here. Again, imagine the traffic, just saying, just want to point that out. So I think that's kind of interesting about the schools being here. And again, if you're within that gray area, you are absolutely going to be zoned for a Farragut school. So that is just a little bit about the schools. Now I'm going to go back to this view and I want to show you some other parts. So like I said, this right here, not in that gray area. This is all 37922. Now, back in the day, down here, this was literally like nothing. Like this was like cow pastures, okay? And this is this is where you're getting into Loudoun County. So back in the day, there was nothing out here, and there's like some nice, waterfront properties, etc. But now this is an area called Choteau. And Choteau has kind of blown up in the sense that now they have a little shopping area. There's a Weigel's there, but they have several restaurants. There's like a wing place. There's a pizza place, Don Gallo, go get your margarita. And just like little shops here. So your closest option for like groceries and stuff is going to be go into Farragut. But I just point this out because this area, if you're wanting new construction, this is probably your best bet because everything else is relatively saturated. So this is going to be these are going to be your newest houses. Now they are like one on top of the other. Literally, you're like driving through North Shore, through Choteau, and all you see is like houses on top of houses, like right into people's back porches. And I will say basically Farragut goes essentially to Harvey Road, Early Road. This is still like within Knoxville, but if you were to go into Lakeland, that's Loudoun County. So this is kind of the county line here. But I will also say that to me, like I live in Seymour, so I live about 45 minutes from this. However, so it feels like it's literally so far from everything, but it's actually really not, because if you take this road, North Shore, you can take North Shore to Lovell Road essentially, and you could be to the Crowbar in like 10, 15 minutes. And when I say Crowbar, that is a Kroger, which is a grocery store. We have a grocery store called Kroger, and there's a bar in there. So you can be shopping for your groceries and drinking your beverage. We don't have that in Seymour. I'm just saying, it's pretty, I may or may not be jealous about it. Okay, I'm gonna show you this, where it is. It's directly across from, I'm too far up. It's down here, Crowbar. So just basically put in your map, Kroger Marketplace, or you could put in Admiral Pub. Admiral Pub, they have, that's a like cool, that used to be a, what's that chain like beer place? But now they, I can't remember the name of it. Whatever, it's a good bar. They actually have cauliflower crust pizza at Admiral Pub. You know that? I know that because that's what I order, and they can give you a really good Mexican mule. Just saying. Okay, so anyhow, Crowbar, this is where there's a bar, literally, in a grocery store. Do your grocery stores have bars? I don't know, but I just think, I'm like, oh my gosh, why don't we have that? It would make the shopping experience so much more fun. Okay, so now let's talk about some water frontage, and I'm actually gonna go back to this view so I can just show you. So, like we said, this is all, like I would call this Farragut, however, these are Knoxville addresses. So something in here is gonna have a 123 Main Street Farragut. Something here is gonna have a 123 Main Street Knoxville, 37922, and this is a 37934. But these guys over here are gonna be going to Farragut schools. These guys over here are gonna be like North Shore, West Valley Middle, and then I think Farragut High. I'm almost 99% sure everyone on this side is Farragut High. If not, it's going to be Bearden High. But anyways, if you want to know, call me. But let's look at some water frontage. So first of all, we have, this is the Choteau area I was talking about. This is the line, this Harvey Road. That is now Loudoun County on this side, Knox County on this side. Cheers at Choteau. This is a bar. It is popping in the summer, but it's also a marina. So this would be one place where if you have a boat, you could have your boat at the marina at Choteau. So that's one marina. There's also Concord Marina. So that's going to be further this way. See this Concord Park area, Lakeside Tavern. So this is, and you can see here, all marina. There's this place they have a like all you can eat brunch buffet. Is it saying it's closed? Oh, I was like, what do you mean it's closed? Also, it's game day today as I'm recording this. The game's at noon, and I feel like it was a mistake for them not to open until 11, but that's just my personal opinion. But as a side note, you will see Concord Marina. You also have Concord Park, par 3 golf course. Like I said, there's a pool, there's walking trails, there's all kinds of stuff. And then this is also, there's a boat launch here, as you can see. So those are kind of the big marinas for the area. But like I said, you also have homes that do have their own docks. So like these guys, these are personal docks. And then if we go further down this way, there's a neighborhood called River Sound. So that's this right here. And these have a good amount of docks, and there is a wait list. Also, if you want to buy a house in here, you could potentially get a dock, but there is a wait list. And so, and the best way to probably find out like, hey, is there going to be a boat available, is to like get on the River Sound Facebook page, get in the know with somebody in there, and kind of get in the know. Put your name out there, and you know, sometimes they've said that sometimes people post it in like in the clubhouse or whatever, but I think the best way to kind of figure that out would be word of mouth, or to obviously buy a house that already has a deeded boat slip, but that could be tough. So if you find one, I'm just telling you, do it now. And these houses in River Sound, think like 2000 built, outdated, giant townhouses. They are like 4,000 plus square feet. I'm telling you, they are literally huge. But they have dogs, so they're nice. There's also, you know, just, you know, basically neighborhoods along here, you can find some water frontage. It can be tough, I will say that. So that's a little bit about boating and dock life. The other thing I want to point out about Farragut is if you are a workout junkie like myself, Farragut is going to be the area where you have the most density of places to work out, from big box gyms to small boutiques. So big box gyms, there is a YMCA off North Shore, it's there. And then off Kingston Pike, there is a Gold's Gym. It is by the Honeybee, it's down here. There's a Gold's Gym. Maybe it's a little further. Getting lost in this map. I gotta zoom out to come back in. I can't tell where we are. Okay, yeah, here we go. Gold's Gym is right here. So those are the big box gym. There it is. The big box gyms. Now, we also have Pure Bar, which is off Campbell Station. There's also a hot yoga. There's also a core change. Core Change and Orange Theory are both in Turkey Creek. I don't think there's actually a cycle place. I know there is a boot camp place. And then you've got F45, but F45 is on the other side of Pellissippi. So it's still West Knox-esque, not technically West Knox. So, I mean, from a gym perspective, if you're wanting like to be active and you want to have great gym memberships, this is going to be your place. There are a couple CrossFit boxes. There used to be one right off Level Road, which is technically in Hardin Valley, but might as well have been Farragut. So from a gym perspective, that's going to be probably your best option as well. So that is just a pop into Farragut. I think, again, when you're thinking Farragut, you're thinking stuff to do, places to get food beyond just like McDonald's. Now they do have, like, they have everything basically. They've got chain restaurants, fast food, and then nice kind of more boutique restaurants like Seasons, Water into Wine, just nicer places. And then tons of stuff to do outside and water activities, water sports, parks, etc. So that is a little bit about Farragut. I also want to mention that there is Foxton Country Club. So these are golf front. This is a golf front community. So just, you know, that might be something to look into if you're interested in living on a golf course. So anyhow, that is Farragut, and I hope this has been helpful for you. And if you have questions, give me a call. I would love to talk with you, and I will see you on the next video.